let's discuss neighboring.
Okay. Neighboring.
Tell me about this.
Well, this is something that started in Midland back in 2011. And Linda Owen, did you know her?
Of course.
Had gone, was out visiting relatives, I think, in Colorado. And she attended church out there. And she brought this idea back and went right to John Lynch, who was city manager at the time, and told him about it. And said, I got to tell you about this very cool neighboring thing I just experienced. And what it was in Colorado, the churches grouped together and they all preached the same sermon like 3 Sundays in a row. So if you were a Methodist, you heard the same sermon that the Baptists were hearing, or the Catholics were hearing, or the Assembly of God folks were hearing. And so if you went outside, that afternoon after church and were, raking grass in your yard and you talked to your neighbor and you said, I heard this nice thing about I should, meet my neighbor. And they said, well, I heard the same thing. And so Linda thought that was a great idea. Well, she talked to John and John said, Maureen, I think you should look into this. So I did. And so these 2 ministers in Colorado, I found out from Linda who they were. They had written a book and it was Rediscovering the Art of Neighboring. And basically it was based on the principle, if you're supposed to love your neighbor, you got to know who your neighbor is.